Alright, this is the scores and thoughts for week 13, and yes, I am over my congestion, thanks for asking. Let's get right to it. This is week 13, the NFL season. First up, we got the Eagles and the Texans. The Eagles beat the Texans at home 34-24. Very good game in this one. The Eagles started off strong, then they struggled, then they came back and won the game. I'm a big fan of Mike Vick. I know some people aren't, but I am a big fan of Mike Vick, and he managed the game beautifully. He didn't panic. He came back and won the game. Um, and it was a very good game. The Texans put up a good fight, and they may actually be able to keep pace in that AFC South, but I think it's the AFC South, right? Should be. Yeah, it is the AFC South. So, good win by the Eagles. They are now, what, 8-4, I think? They're still up top of that division of that NFC East. So Minnesota Vikings thrashed the Buffalo Bills 38-14 at home. Nothing really notable about this game other than Brett Favre got knocked out of the game again. It's like the second time this year, or the second or third time this year he's been knocked out of a game. And Tavares Jackson came in and he actually did pretty well. He threw 3 picks, but he also threw 2 touchdowns. It would have been nicer if he would have had a positive TD to INT ratio, but nonetheless, he actually did pretty good. So, yeah, good win by the Vikings. Maybe they are showing some sort of resurgence to finish out the year on a high note. Cleveland Browns beat the Miami Dolphins 13-10. Bit of a low-scoring contest. It was the Browns versus the Dolphins. I mean, what more do you want? Just nothing in that one. No real comments on that one, but good win by the Browns. I think Jake Delhomme is finally showing something of a resurgence for his career. Jags beat the Titans 17-6 on the road. The Titans, they're playing the Colts this Sunday or this Thursday, but they're not. They're probably gonna lose because it's in division. I have more to say on the Colts later, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. But excuse me. But yes, live unedited burping. The Jaguars they're leading that AFC South right now, and I think they could win the division. But knowing Peyton Manning and the Colts, they'll probably come back and win everything. So good win by the Jags. Good win. They're leading the division. Giants thrashed the Redskins 31-7. This is not the most lopsided blowout of the week, though. I mean, the most lopsided blowout of the week it's actually not as lopsided as Vikings, or actually it is. It's as lopsided as the Vikings Bills game, but it's not the most lopsided blowout of the week. The most lopsided blowout of the week was last night. I'll get into that later, but it was last night, so. See if this will move. Come on, move down. Move down! Make up your mind already? Thank you. Okay. Packers beat the 49ers 34-16. About the only notable thing about the game was the fact that Green Bay wore those stupid blue uniforms. Did you see those? I mean, those stupid blue uniforms with the yellow circle number and everything. Like, I know it's dedicating a throwback day or something, but for God's sake, wear a better uniform than that. God, it's like the AFC dedication Broncos uniforms or whatever. You know those yellow and brown ones? It's as bad as those. Seriously. Saints beat the Bengals 34-30. This is pretty much summarizing the Bengals season in a nutshell. They had a chance to win the game, but the Saints came back, won the game, and yeah, that just sucks for the Bengals. It really does. I wouldn't be surprised if Marvin Lewis somehow loses his job, like 2 other coaches have, or like a couple other coaches have this season with losing teams. Bears beat the Lions 24-20. Nothing much to say other than Drew Stanton did pretty good. He actually did pretty good for a third-string quarterback that got drafted in, the 3rd round? Or 2nd round in 2007 or whatever, and failed to perform on the field, failed to do anything good. But he's actually performed pretty well, so he's the only starting quarterback they have. The Lions only have one quarterback. They're probably going to have to sign a couple because Stafford's probably done for the year. Sean Hill's out for the year, definitely. So, I mean, it's a good win by the Bears, but it was against the Lions. What more do you want? They had Ndamukong Suh kick an extra point one week. So, whatever. Chiefs beat the Broncos 10-6. About the only thing notable about this game was that it cost Josh McDaniels his job. It's the only thing notable about this game. It was a low-scoring contest. I mean, take a look at the fan rating, a 38. That's what sucks. Raiders beat the Chargers 28-13 in a huge upset. I expected the Raiders to lose badly. The Chargers, they may not be on the resurgence path this time. Excuse me. They may not be on the resurgence path. They're 6-6 now. They're 2 games back of the Chiefs in the division, so who knows? We'll have to see. Alright, last 6 games of the week. And yes, the biggest blowout is coming up. Move that back up. There we go. Falcons come back to beat the Buccaneers 28-24 on the road. This probably proves that the Falcons can finally win on the road. And maybe it proves that they are indeed the best team in the NFC. I still think they are. I still think they are the best team in the NFC. If they get home field advantage throughout the postseason, they will definitely make the Super Bowl. Straight up. It will happen. Rams beat the Cardinals 19-6. Yeah, Rams, Cardinals. That NFC West is crap. We all know that. But good win by the Rams, I guess. The Cardinals suck, so beating the Cardinals isn't exactly the most pleasant thing, or isn't exactly the happiest thing to do in the world. But hey, you won, so I guess that means something. Seahawks start off slow, then decimate the Panthers 31-14. I saw this game, and the Panthers were up 14-0 as the first half was about to end, and I'm like, are you serious? Is this the Carolina Panthers that I know? And then the second half, the Carolina Panthers I know actually showed up. They gave up 21 points in the third. They outscored 28-0 in the second half, and they lost badly. They lost by 17. So, hey, we scored the first 14 points. It was just that 31 points in the middle that that at the end that kind of stuck, kind of screwed it up. But whatever. We're getting the number 1 pick anyway. I could just see with the first pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select quarterback from Auburn, Cam Newton. It's gonna happen. We know it. Everybody knows it. Cowboys beat the Colts 38-35 in overtime. I think the Colts could still win the division, but they got to get a move on. Peyton Manning's got to stop throwing interceptions. Peyton, if you're listening, which I don't think you are, and in fact I know you aren't, but if you ever watch this video, stop throwing interceptions. But then again, the Cowboys are a good team now with Jason Garrett as the coach, so that could be another thing. Good win by the Cowboys, I guess. Whatever. Steelers beat the Ravens 13-10. Bit of a slow-scoring game, but the highlight of the game has to be when Joe Flacco got the ball stripped as he was trying to throw it by Troy Polamalu, who came up on the blitz and just decimated Flacco. I think when Lamar Woodley picked it up and ran it down to the 10. And then the Steelers scored a touchdown and won the game. They ended up winning the game 13-10. So, Steelers are the leaders in the division with the Ravens in it. So, the Ravens are second in their division. And finally, the most lopsided game of the week. Patriots beat the Jets 45-3. Where do I even begin with this game? Where do I begin? I honestly thought that the Jets were going to win this game because I felt like they were the hot team. But I felt like that they were a good team and that they could possibly win the game. But it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Straight up, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. The Patriots started scoring, and then they just didn't let up. The Jets got a field goal. The Jets did get a field goal, so they at least didn't get shut out. That was probably the funniest game to see, because the Patriots. I saw someone on my Facebook quote, put a status up there saying, the guy Leon Keniston, Leon, if you're watching, I'm giving you a shout out. Basically, he said 45-3. Okay, you're pouring on that's running up the score a little bit. That's basically what he said. He's basically saying, that's kind of running up the score, people. And it was. It was running up the score. So, but, hey, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. But, good win. Good win by the Patriots. They didn't really have to try. They could have just stopped scoring after 17 points and still would have won the game, but... but, good win by the Patriots. It was a blowout. I'm sorry. It just was. Alright, so that was the scores and thoughts for Week 13. Let's take a look at Week 14. Let me get the thing pulled up on. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the preview for Week 14 here. There are some interesting games. You got the Colts-Titans. That could be an interesting game. Let's see, what else? Rams-Saints is probably a little bit interesting, because that'll show us, can the Rams beat a team like the Saints? It could happen. We'll see. It could happen. Bears-Patriots, that's one. A resurgent Cowboys team against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have been hot. And that's really it. Chiefs-Chargers. We'll see if the Chargers really are going to come back and win the division, or if they're just going to lie down and take it. I think if the Chiefs win that game, they've pretty much clinched the division with 3 games left. I think. I'm not 100% positive, but I think they're going to clinch the division if they win that game. Or they're going to come close to it. Because if the Raiders lose and the Chargers lose, or if the Raiders lose and the Chargers lose, which in essence will be the Chiefs winning, then the Chiefs will have pretty much the Chiefs will have locked up the division just about, and then they'll have to win one more game. They'll have to just not lose 3 straight games. They have to win a game. They have to win at least one game in the next 4 weeks to actually lock up the division, and hope that the other teams lose. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But those are the scores and thoughts for Week 14 or for Week 13 with a preview of Week 14. I will see you all next week. Take it easy.